if we don't use actual angles. So that's why we got the little protractors out so that you guys had those. And this is low budget protractors, but I figured if I laminated them, they'd work out okay. But yeah, but it's my laminating sheets, so I have discount laminating sheets. So so we have to figure out how much, what percent of the circle it is. So we're going to figure out the percent, and then we're going to multiply that by 360. That's going to allow us to see how many degrees each little chunk of the pie should be. So this medical supply company has these expenses. Now we want to figure out how much the expenses are of the total and the percent of the total that is. So we have to first figure out the total. So we're going to take all these and put them together to figure out what their expenses are. I don't know if this, I'm assuming this is for a year, but maybe it depends how big the company is, if it's a month or week.
No, it's just
yes, travel is
per day.
246,000 each time.
Just one day.
I like to go around the world too.
I love to be staying in a hotel where it's $180,000
transporting by airplane is pretty expensive.
True. I love staying in a hotel that's $180,000 a night. Such a good price. They brought out $500.
They definitely aren't staying in a Motel 6, hey?
No, they're living in the penthouse.
They bought the hotel.
Did anyone else add it up?
No.
Thanks.
They bought the hotel to sleep for
They own the hotels.
I think I'm good.
They are the hotel.
All right. So their total expenses for, I'm assuming the year, is close to $1 million, $819,400.
Let's try up to
That's not
$1
So we need to figure out what percent of the total each of those are, and that's the percent of the circle we're going to use. But then we're going to figure out how many degrees in our pie chart that is. So to figure out if the travel is 246,000, how do we figure out what percent of the total that is? Do you guys remember? How do we figure out percent? This was a few chapters ago. You cried.
Yes.
You divided by what? Not necessarily yet, not quite yet.
Valve.
Do you guys remember the fraction is over of?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's the part over the whole. So we basically take the 246,000 and divide it by the whole, which is the total. Now this, I get 0.300, so that's about 30%. Now I actually am going to leave that crazy decimal when I divided these two, so I divided this by that number down here to get 30%, but I can actually leave it as a decimal because I'm going to take that and multiply it by 360, and that's going to tell me how many degrees I need to use. So this one's 108 degrees. Okay, we'll figure that out in a second. Let's figure out all the measurements first, and then we'll come back to the circle, okay? Now thinking already about 108 degrees, that's more than a 90-degree angle, so knowing that that's an obtuse angle, going back to, do you guys know about angles?
yeah. Yeah, too much.
Miss Donald,
Yeah.
cute animal.
I bought Miss McDonald's baby a cute baby little onesie.
Oh, dear Lord.
I figured her math teacher friend would have to give her that. I have not seen her wear it yet, though. I'm just going to throw that out there. I don't know what size it was. I don't remember.
I think that's a good thing, though.
What? I'm going to go to whole percents just to make sure, or degrees, just because they're going to be easier. We're not going to be able to do, our little protractor is so little, we're not going to be able to do like 79.2 degrees. Let's just go to the nearest degree.
No, I think
You
it's
want
how
the
it's
scissors.
I do. That's Miss, yeah. Thank you. That's Miss Waller's. I actually went into Miss Waller's room because I heard her.
Yeah, you better return that.
Scary laugh.
They clapping over there.
We're
can tell.
Ryan, stop.
Ryan, stop disrespecting Doyle.
So this one's 36. Ooh, the next one's the same number. I don't think you do that one again.
That's crazy. The circle is small.
This is like 7.9%, so like 8%. Again, I'm rounding up to the nearest degree. Any suggestions on a good check to make sure I did this correctly?
Add them all up, they should add up to 360 degrees.
They should add up to 360 degrees. What should the middle column add up to?
100%.
It should add up to 100%. So the middle column should be 100% of the data. This should be 360. What? Did you get something different? It's totally possible I did something wrong, but I think I can tell already, just like with borrowing, carrying, that I think I'm good there. And then this one, is this one okay? Because we don't want any extra degrees just hanging out there. Yeah, that did 360. This was 100% of our data, and this was 360 degrees. And again, it worked pretty well. As long as you round correctly, it should work. If you don't round correctly, this isn't going to work, but oops, I could. Okay, now to do this on our circle, one of the things is you have to kind of eyeball the middle of the circle. So first of all, you need a middle of the circle.
Spazzing better.
So somewhere, if you can try and put a middle of the circle on here as best you can, where you guys think it looks like it would be, I don't know,
Just the middle.
probably from back where you guys would. It's really bad, but alright, looks pretty okay.
So find the center. Not with a center line, this place.
How are you playing dart?
Now, no, we're not doing dartboard. Now, what I would also suggest is having a starting line. So I'm going to draw a line here.
There's also anything about the protractor. It already has a straight.
It does have a straight edge, so you can use your little protractor for this if you'd like. So I'm going to go from here, like out to the side. I think I have a protractor I can use up here.
Yeah, probably. Come on, man.
That's fine.
Cheater.
All right. Okay. So my protractor is bigger than the circle too, which I kind of like up here so you guys can see that. What I need to do, I'm going to take a picture so I have this data, is I need to draw these degrees, and hopefully I don't end up like doing something wrong and running out of space here. Whoops.
Which
Is always possible, but all right, the first one that I need to do, I'm going to do is 108 degrees. Now, if I'm starting at 0 over here, I go around to 108. Of course, that's too high on my, so 108, you can draw like a dot way off your circle over to 108. So again, it should go past the middle line. 108 is going to be somewhere like up over here. I don't know if I can draw anything, it won't let me. I might go the other way. Oh gosh.
and then just draw, go from that
So,
dot.
yeah, so if you make a dot at 108, you should be able to connect that line back to the center of the circle. So,
I'm just gonna connect it to the outer width.
I'm going to move mine down here.
Officially. Oh.
I wanna move. Oh, there it goes.
If there's a
Watch
center-
Mrs. Donahue play with.
No, there's a center point, and which is the moving point. There's a point on
Alright. So, you take this guy.
it. And it's not. Comes clean.
Oh, dear Lord.
Ah!
Why is there a big thing here?
Okay. How long can we play with this? Okay, so 108 degrees. So now again, I should be over here if you guys haven't drawn your little line yet. So 108 goes past 90. 108, I'm going to put like a dot somewhere up here. When I do that, then I can just connect those two together.
I just connected to the outside.
Yeah, to like the outside of the circle. So I'm going to draw my line now, connecting those two. So going here, like I was going all the way up there, but I'm going to stop.
And
I was going to stop at the edge of the circle, but that's fine if I don't. So,
if
all right.
you have to shoot center of the circle, all lines to the outside shoot.
Okay. So there's our 108 degrees, and that would be our travel. And we're going to kind of keep moving our way around the circle to do all these different pieces. So our next one we're going to do then would be our 79 degrees. You're probably going to be really close to 80 there. And you're going to kind of keep moving your way around the circle. And we'll see how I can do, but you guys can feel free to do this as well. I don't know if it lets me turn this thing. Oh, look at that. So I want to go now to 80 degrees or 79, right? Did we say?
Yes.
So now I'm going to change my color here. So from that spot, I'm going to go to 79, which is like about here. And then I'm going to connect those dots.
I thought it okay then. Is it not how it goes?
And 79 degrees is our next one. And then after that, we have a couple that were 36. And you guys will have to do this for your homework tonight, so that's why I want you guys to practice it and have these little protractors to use.
36.
I move.
You got this.
I got it.
So 36 degrees.
So 36, so this obviously is a much smaller one. So 36 is in between 30 and 40 here. And actually, if you're really like smooth and you have that, you just want to keep going, you could do another one at 72 because that's 36 and 36. I might just do that right away. I don't know. 72. Again, if we didn't do this, if we were just trying to eyeball what 36 degrees is, I'm going to tell you that it's probably not going to go very well. If I was trying to draw this, even though, you know, I'm a math teacher, I'm good with numbers, mine would probably still look pretty bad. Like 36-degree angle, I don't know that I would have drawn an angle that size. Like I don't know if I could have visualized what that should have been. And so to kind of keep things more consistent, these angles are really important to draw. Now, there's all sorts of tools out there that would draw pie charts for you, but until you've really done it yourself, I don't think you really get the whole grasp of kind of how detailed this actually is. So I'm trying to get you guys to see that. Again, we won't have to do a ton of these, but you will have to do at least one on the test. So there's another 36 degrees. Another 36 degrees there. 29 and 72. And really they should kind of end up being, like, it matches up and then it should be done, so,
So next is 70.
yeah. This one's off, so I might have to do I'm gonna do the smaller one, I'm gonna do 29. 29 is my next one I'm gonna do.
We're laying the line on this stuff, but we're just gonna keep going with the semi up to 13.
Oh,
Where's my laptop? It's still on.
so there's my 29, and hopefully that last one's 72. It looks pretty close because the other one's 79. At this point, I can't really do a lot about it if it's not. So we're just gonna go with it that I hope it is, and we just write that I try to say 29 here, should be. And then the last one should be 72, hopefully. And that would tell someone, like, this is where a big chunk of our expenses are going, and that allows someone to say, like, if we're trying to cut back, where is the biggest chunk going? Should we really be spending that big of a percentage of our, our work on travel? Like, is that,
You really need to go to Jamaica every few
right,
months.
right. So maybe they're kind of overspending there.
Let's just go on to Jamaica.
No, they're not overspending it.
They're underspending. They're getting
Oh.
great deals.
Now, it does say what percent was spent on sales meetings and entertainment combined. Again, you can go back and look at your numbers, and you can put those two together. And we want to talk about percents, not degrees. So when we talk about that, you'd call that percent. So what was that? 82 and what?
No.
Or is it 82 all total?
Oh no, I was talking about like 8,000.
What was sales meetings and entertainment? 36 and what? 29. So 65%?
No, that's degrees.
Oh, we don't want degrees. Okay.
It's 10 and 8%, so 18.
Thank you.
It's 80%.
It's 18%? Okay. I was gonna say, because otherwise over half of our meeting, or our things was going to sales meetings and entertainment. I thought that sounded a little high. I don't even know what they mean by entertainment for a business, but,
And what, if that's more than half,
all right,
what is travel costs?
right. Okay. Things just went weird again, you guys, so, okay. All right.
It's
Right.
going to
You
a,
just went into the gutter again. Yeah. Okay, thought so. All right. So guys, for our homework, again, the way I put it together actually worked out pretty nicely. It's wasting a lot of paper because it's stapled, and it's not back to back. But that's going to be helpful because some of the data, like, is on this page that you need for the next one, and so it'd be annoying if you couldn't see that data. So make sure you guys are looking. There's different graphs that go with different types of questions here. And like you're kind of, again, like we typically have the values are up on the top, or the ones you guys are doing. And you probably want to hang on to your little protractor for your bar graph, or not your bar graph, your pie chart, or your circle graph for Ari. And then I need scissors back from you guys. They just took these two and put them together. So entertainment and then sales meetings, right? The blood center's calling me, they want my blood.
You're not the only one. Blood.
Mosquitoes? Blood for the blood.
Alright, so you guys have the rest of the time to get working on homework.